If you have a $10 bill, you're going to want to watch this video because we go over some very rare $10 bills that you don't want to accidentally spend or sell to the wrong person because they sell for a lot of money in this video. So let's hop right into this video with this first note from 1950. Now, typically these $10 bills from 1950 are not going to be that valuable. However, this example, you'll see two things right off the bat. First of all, you're going to see this red sticker looking object in the bottom right hand corner, and then you're going to see some blue crayon or pen being circled in that area. These two things were done by a Bureau of Engraving and Printing employee. They saw there was a mistake on this sheet of bills, so they circled the area, rejected it because there's actually some insufficient inking of the seal on the right. You can see a little bit of the top of that seal. It is green. Typically you will have a full seal right there, and that's why this $10 bill sold for $360, $432 for this 1988 $10 bill. Now when you're looking at the front of the bill, everything looks pretty normal, but it's only when you get to the back of the bill, which is the first print, you're going to notice that there is multiple impressions happening. It looks a little bit blurry. If your $10 bill looks blurry like this, then you could have a $10 bill worth a lot of money. This one sold for $432. When you're looking at the back of this 1990 $10 bill, everything looks relatively normal. Remember, this is the first print of this bill, is the back. The second print is the front of the bill, which you see here. But you will notice that there's a lot of information missing because the third print never happened. There's insufficient inking on this bill, and that's why it sold for $528. Here's a cool one. So this is from 1934. It's an older $10 bill. The front of the bill, you can notice that the seal on the right and the serial numbers are a bit more lighter than typical. Collectors call this a light green serial number because of the look here. Typically, light greens will bring a little bit more money than the darker green varieties. The biggest factor here is going to be the back of the bill is printed upside down. So this has an inverted back error on it. It got graded by PMG at a 35, which is a pretty low grade. That means there's at least 5 or 6 folds on this bill. Remember, the higher the grade you get, the more money your bill will be worth. This one sold for $870. Looking at the back of this $10 bill, you'll see there's a tear on it and it looks a bit cut. This one sold for $1,560. So when you flip it over to the front, you can see that the serial number and seal was printed on top of that tear. This is a very cool error. You can even see a little bit of the second bill beneath there on that fold. Very cool and highly collectible. $1,560, $2,880 for this 1950 $10 bill. There's the smallest detail that you don't want to miss on this specific bill, so pay close attention because it can very easily be looked over. Now once again, these $10 bills from 1950 are typically not going to be worth a lot of money unless they have an error or some sort of rare or fancy serial number that will increase the value of the bill. Now I want you to look at the bottom left serial number. It says E01110. The top right one says E0110. So they're different. The fourth digit is a 1 at the bottom and a 0 at the top. This is a mismatched serial number error, and that's why it sold for $2,880. When you're looking at the back of this $10 bill that sold for $5,520, it looks like there's a piece of tape on there. Well, when you flip it over to the front, you can see that after the second printing and before the third printing, which is that overprint, there's a piece of tape and a piece of paper stuck on this sheet, and this is what we call a retained obstruction. So if you ever come across a retained obstruction, do not remove it because that will decrease the value. You want to keep that obstruction retained on the specific bill. It increases the value dramatically. Something very interesting like this one is going to intrigue a collector and want them to actually pay more money for something like this. $5,520, $7,200. And when you're just looking at the front of the bill, you're going to be questioning if you are a little tipsy, you've had a little too much to drink. That's at least what it looks like to me, a little bit of blurry vision looking at this $10 bill. The second print here got doubled. So remember, the back of the bill is the first print. The second print here is doubled. Then the third and final print is the overprint, which is not doubled. A great example to see kind of the printing process, even though this is an error, and it sold for $7,200. If you enjoyed this video, pick up our completely free coin and currency ebook down below before you try to sell your paper money. You're going to want to maximize the value of your bills. Check that out. We'll see you in the next one.